The future will bring more extreme weather, strong cloudbursts, heavy flooding, and more destruction. Copenhagen has already seen the type of weather that will become more frequent. But now that we know the risk will be greater, how do we best prepare for the more extreme weather events? The municipalities in Greater Copenhagen have joined forces to implement a large-scale climate adaptation plan. When the entire project is finished in 30 years, it will create protection against heavy rain and cloudbursts. It will become the largest climate adaptation project in Denmark. But it's not only about avoiding floods. Climate adaptation is a design task where climate, architecture, economy, and quality of life all come into play. And in the middle of it all, we find the stream Harrestrup Å, which is chosen to play a leading role. We can see some part of the stream over here next to the lake Damhussøen, but the full extent of Harrestrup Å becomes more clear when you see it from above. Harrestrup Å is a 20-kilometer long stream that branches out into 10 municipalities. When the cloudburst comes, the low-lying areas of the city are especially exposed. Therefore, the stream must be made much larger and wider, so it can direct enormous amounts of water away from the city. At the same time, the green areas around the stream must be made ready to be flooded and collect the water. The green areas will also be designed so they add value to people, animals, and nature during normal weather. The parties handle the water management in unison, while the recreational and biodiversity initiatives are paid for by the local municipalities. Some of the solutions have already been built, while others will be constructed over the next 30 years. Let's have a look at some of the solutions. We start furthest inland and move towards the sea. One of the climate-adapted areas is the lake in Haraldsminde. Normally, the lake has a recreational purpose, but during heavy cloudbursts, it has an additional role to play. The lake receives rainwater from the surrounding areas, and in the event of a cloudburst, it can store 7 times as much water as on a normal day. The lake retains the water until the stream is ready to receive it. There are hiking trails with bridges over the water, and the stream has been restored to improve the aquatic environment. Haraldsminde is an example of holistic climate adaptation, where architecture, increased biodiversity, and water management are considered together throughout the design phase. From Haraldsminde, we move further downstream. Kæsmosen is already today a breathing space for citizens and a species-rich habitat for animals and plants. Stormwater will be collected in the middle of the marsh. A dike is planned to be constructed around the marsh, along with a lock to control the water outflow. With this construction, only the marsh areas will be flooded when the cloudburst hits. The dike will eventually provide new habitats for animals and plant species. All the projects are mutually dependent on each other in order to retain and unleash water. Damhussingen and Damhussøen form the largest reservoir by far, with a capacity 3 times greater than Kæsmosen and 20 times greater than Haraldsminde. A dike around the meadow and the lake prevents the water from spreading further. If a heavy cloudburst makes it necessary, the water can flow from the meadow into the lake. When the cloudburst comes, the low-lying meadow can be flooded, and the water level in Damhussøen rises by up to 1 meter. The wet meadow provides good living conditions for amphibians and can attract new bird species such as northern lapwings and the common snipe. From Damhussøen, the stream continues down to Vigerslevparken. As part of the plan, the course of the stream will be twisted in this area. In addition to improving architectural qualities, it will create a more dynamic stream, allowing the speed of the water to vary. This fosters new places for animals and plants to thrive. By excavating the stream in 2 levels, it will have the capacity to handle water both on a daily basis and during floods. At the same time, the stream will be made more accessible to citizens by constructing bridges and footpaths. The Green Park area provides citizens with a space for daily activities, but it can be flooded when necessary. Harrestrup Å eventually flows into the sea at Kalveboderne. The water has been delayed and retained in basins along the way. The climate-adapted stream has taken care of large amounts of water that would otherwise cause destruction in the city. At the same time, we benefit from an aesthetic stream through the city, where nature and biodiversity merge with culture and quality of life.